Picture the strongest person you know. Maybe it's your sister, your best friend, that one coworker who never seems to crack. She stayed calm the week she lost her job. She kept showing up to the gym even after her heart got broken. She's the one everyone calls when things fall apart, but she never calls anyone. You know exactly who this is for you, but there's a version of her you've never seen. And psychology just found out why. Now flip it. Think about the person who applies to 3 jobs, gets 3 rejections, and just stops trying. Or the one who stays in a relationship that hurts, telling themselves, "Nothing I do changes anything anyway." You've done this too, not because you're weak, because of something wired into every mammal on this planet. This isn't a video about resilience. It's about the fact that psychology had this backward for 50 years. In 1967, a researcher named Martin Seligman ran a famous experiment with dogs and mild shocks. He called what he found learned helplessness. But in 2016, new research flipped that idea on its head. Giving up isn't something you learn, it's your default setting. Hope is the thing you have to build. Here's what most people believe. You give up because somewhere along the way, you learned that nothing works. Life taught you a lesson, and you took notes. That's the story we've all been told. But that story is backward. Giving up isn't something you learn. It's what your brain does on its own, without any lessons at all. Trying, pushing, staying in the fight, that's the skill. That's the thing you have to build. Like a muscle, you actually have to train. Here's the proof. In 2016, Stephen Meyer and Martin Seligman went back and looked at 50 years of brain research. They studied a tiny part of the brain called the dorsal rough nucleus, and what they found changed everything. When animals face pain or stress they can't control, their brains don't need to learn to shut down. Shutting down happens automatically. It's the factory setting, so if you've ever frozen up, gone quiet, or stopped trying, that wasn't a lesson you learned. That was your brain doing exactly what every mammal's brain is built to do. There's a name for this. Psychologists call it default passivity. It just means your brain's factory setting is to stop trying. Not because something is wrong with you, but because that setting kept animals alive for millions of years. If you're stuck and can't escape, sometimes freezing saves more energy than fighting. But here's the part that changes everything. Control isn't automatic. Effort isn't automatic. Those things have to be learned, and once learned, they have to be kept up, like a fire that needs new wood, or it dies out. Your nervous system has to be trained to believe that trying works. So the next time you gave up on something, a goal, a relationship, a hard conversation, sit with that for a second. Your brain wasn't broken. It wasn't lazy. It was doing exactly what it was built to do since before humans could even talk. That switch flipped on its own. And if it can flip on its own, it can be trained to flip the other way too. Let's make this real. Think about job hunting. You send out application after application. Silence, silence, silence. After enough of that, you stop sending them. Not because you're lazy, but because your brain decided the effort wasn't worth it anymore. Or think about a relationship. You bring up the same issue again and again, and nothing changes. Eventually, you stop bringing it up at all. You go quiet. That's the same switch flipping. But here's where it gets interesting. Picture 2 people in that exact same job search. Person A once had a moment, maybe early in life, where their effort clearly changed something. A grade went up because they studied. A parent listened when they spoke up. That one memory becomes proof that trying works, so they keep going. Person B never got that proof, so when things get hard, they shut down faster. Same situation, completely different wiring. Control is like a muscle, nobody flexes for you. If it isn't trained, it weakens. And if it's never trained at all, it barely shows up when you need it most. So where does this actually come from? It's not a flaw in your personality. It's not a bad trait you were born with. It traces back to something much simpler. Did you get early wins where your effort actually worked? A parent who answered when you cried? a project that paid off because you put in the work. Those small moments teach your brain one thing: trying is worth it. Without enough of them, your brain has no proof to lean on, so it defaults to shutting down faster. This is where I need you to hear something clearly. If you've frozen up, quit too soon, or gone numb when things got hard, that is not a character defect. That is 50 years of neuroscience telling us your brain did the oldest, most automatic thing it knows how to do. You didn't fail. You're not lazy. You're not weak. You're mammalian. Every creature with a nervous system is built this way. The difference isn't whether you have this switch. Everyone does. The difference is whether anyone ever showed you how to flip it back. So how do you actually retrain this? You don't need a 5-step plan or a total life overhaul. You need one question, asked at the exact moment you feel like giving up. Ask yourself this: is there one small action here, however tiny, where my effort would visibly change the outcome? Not the whole problem, not the whole job search or the whole relationship or the whole mess. Just one small piece of it. Maybe that means sending one more application, but to a job you actually chose on purpose. Maybe it means saying one honest sentence in a hard conversation, just to see what happens. Then you do that one thing. Here's why this works. You're not trying to fix everything at once. You're giving your brain proof that your effort still moves something in the world. That proof is what retrains the default. Every small win rebuilds the wiring that tells your nervous system, trying is worth it. Small proof, repeated enough times, becomes a new default. That's the whole mechanism. Now, building this proof of control habit on your own takes practice, and a lot of people find it easier with some structure. If you want daily journal prompts to help you spot these moments, or a simple guide that walks you through it step by step, I've put something together for that. Link is below if you want a helping hand, instead of doing it alone. But here's the real point I want you to leave with. That strong person you pictured at the start of this video, the one who never seems to crack, she isn't strong because she skipped learned helplessness. Nobody skips it. She's strong because somewhere along the way, she got proof that trying works, and she kept building on it. That's not a gift she was born with. That's a skill, and skills can be learned at any age, starting today. So if today's video showed you the switch, the next one shows you how to flip it. I'll walk you through the exact mechanism your brain uses to unlearn helplessness and build control then instead. Subscribe so you don't miss it.